This is the future.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Sigwell Green here and welcome to another video. So in this one I defeated boss Collector Ward Superman, and I'm going to walk you through the fights and explain what teams I used and why I used them. Though for this first one, don't mind it too much because Grodd is going to go into another team later on, but I just defeated the purple Batman previous to this fight, and I only had two teams available, and one was this one and the other one was the Silver Banshee team, so that's why Grodd is in here. He will go into another team into the fights that are gonna come after this. So we're going to open up with Deathstroke, obviously, special 2 in there. At this point I haven't yet upgraded my special 2 of Deathstroke. As far as I'm aware, it is fixed and it's going to perform just as well for everybody at each level, because a lot of you guys have been asking this. It is fixed and it's gonna be better at higher levels, but not in terms of dealing more damage. It's gonna deal the exact same amount of damage, but if the enemy has no damage cap, then you're going to require less special 2s to get all the damage out of the way. If they have a higher damage cap, you might require more of them, or it might even bypass the damage cap at some points. I don't know, but the thing is, it's safe to upgrade it now. So here I just wanted to make sure that he doesn't get killed, because the problem is, he's going to receive some serious buffs from his special 2, and those buffs are going to transition into dot. A thing that I kind of noticed in this fight is that my Deathstroke was taking damage at a far slower pace than in subsequent fights, so I think in a way the dot damage that he's going to deal for the buffs that apply to yourself is gonna be tied to his overall attack value or something like that. And at the same time I was healing, but that is not because of the special 2, that's because of the Kryptonite spear that I had equipped on him. That's where the healing comes from. Or maybe in the next fight, because I don't have the Kryptonite spear. Actually, I don't even remember if I do, but it just seems like I'm getting less dot on Deathstroke here. Let me just put it that way, it's more simple, and I think it's tied to his attack value. That's what we can get out of this fight. We got super available, Deathstroke back in there. Deathstroke is also fixed. He tags in like a normal character, he chain swipes like a normal character in specials, and his back off animation has been buffed to the point where he backs off faster. So overall I would say he's fixed wholly, like from each and every regard, and I'm just wondering, if it's so easy to fix characters, why don't you not put them broken in the game in the first place? Don't you have people testing that stuff out? Like, don't you have beta testers or stuff like that? But yeah, yet again, at least it's fixed, so let's look at the bright side of things. Grodd back in there, Deathstroke back in there, and we're done with we're not done yet with the percentage damages actually. Now we're done, and I'm just happy that I got all of them out of the way, because if it did deal percentage damage all the way towards the end of the fight, then I would have been concerned that I might have missed some. Grodd back in there, Deathstroke back in for a super move to end things off with a respectable 500k, and that's gonna be it for this one. And yeah, that's definitely a reasonable amount of damage. Deathstroke and the addition of Deathstroke really made bosses that take no damage like Raven and this dude far more bearable and far more easy to get through, but if you don't have Deathstroke, it's gonna be just the same old problem. Now, a lot of you have asked me, what is best to use with Silver Banshee, Reverse Flash or Predator Batman? So we're going to have both of them used in this scenario over here, so you can kind of draw the line in terms of which is the best team to use. They both have upsides and downsides. We're gonna get into that as we get into the next Silver Banshee fight. For this one, I think at this point is worth mentioning the level of the artifacts. So I'm going to have a level 7 Beta Club that's gonna be on Reverse Flash for this one. Gonna have a level 5 Kryptonite Spear that's gonna be on Silver Banshee, and gonna have a level 7 Kryptonite Ring that's gonna be on Power Girl. And for the most part, all those artifacts will be equipped on the characters for most fights. I'll tell you if there's something else. And I'm using Beta Club on Reverse Flash actually, because Beta Club here, unless you have a way to reduce his dot resistance, really deals no damage. So for most fights, it's not that worth it to use it on the damage dealer. Throw bench back in there, special 3. Backing off a bit, special 1, but I did put it on Reverse Flash because it still has something that we wanna take advantage of, and that's going to be the power slow, because he's gonna generate power, because we were able to slow that down with our Beta Club. So bench back in their special 3. Keep in mind we do have the Kryptonite Spear, so combos that are going to go above 40 hits are still gonna receive additional damage. Usually the highest combo you can get to get the damage increase is going to be 40 hits. But Kryptonite Spear allows it to go to higher amounts, the higher the level your Kryptonite Spear is. Throw bench back in there, special tree. Like, I'm trying to build as much combo as possible while trying to not lose my combo. And yeah, this guy is still bugged to some extent, but it's either I got luckier or it's kind of fixed. But Silver Bench is gonna have a far lower chance to disable specials here, because this dude has only 2 specials, and Silver Bench is like he has 3 specials. And she's gonna constantly try to disable the special that is not there, and she's gonna fail. But honestly, it seems slightly better in terms of that chance compared to like previous fights with this Steel the Silver Banshee. So it might be to an extent fixed. I don't know. I don't know if they even touched this. I might be tripping, but it seems to be slightly better in that regard. Another special one, yeah, it might actually be fixed now that I think about it and look at the specials in retrospective. Keep in mind the special tree is not going to be able to disable anything because we already have the max amount of specials disabled when I'm using it, so that's not going to be a possibility. And yeah, honestly, I think it's fixed. Well, we failed that one over here, but there's always a chance to fail. A reverse flash gets hit there. At this point, it was not even worth backing off and trying to block that, because it would have been the same outcome where we didn't have time to build more combo. And yeah, that's Silver Banshee plus reverse flash. That's 23 mil, if you didn't catch that. Now, this rocket again in there, we're going to use Arkham Knight Batman here, because he's not gonna be needed for the League of Anarchy team, because Harley is gonna be needed for something else that you'll see later on. We're gonna have Arkham Knight Batman there to increase the resistances of Deathstroke overall. Special 2 in there, we have the Sword of Salvation, and yeah, there's the confirmation. I see the exact dot values. The dot that he deals for each buff that you receive is going to be influenced by his amount of attack, and because Batman Ninja Grodd was reducing his attack, that's why Deathstroke in the previous fight was receiving far lower dot values. And regarding the last fight, I was like, he didn't take that much dot damage, we might as well just get in here and try to keep him as the active character, but that's not gonna be the thing. I'm going to have Blade Master Robin in there. I don't really need to build that much combo for Deathstroke, because as you know, his damage is garbage other than the percentage damage of the special 2, and that's really not influenced by the combo. Like, my Robin is not built, but I was like, well, since Arkham Knight Batman is in there, let's just not give him a good combo builder that we have built, and let's take advantage that Robin is gonna get beefy as hell because of the Arkham Knight Batman passive, giving him health and defense, and let's just throw him in there. And look, he's not a terrible combo builder, he's just not finding his plays out there. Let's just call it that, but it's okay. Deathstroke doesn't need a combo builder for this one. He's gonna be fine. We just need to make sure he doesn't die. Building some more combo. Deathstroke back in there. Special 2. That's gonna be even more percentage damage. And yeah, by the way, you didn't see a Kinflan Sakoman yet, because as I said, the previous 2 fights were the last 2 pips before the refresh. Now the refresh hit again, and we're going to first use Deathstroke, because Deathstroke's gonna have a far easier time against the damage cap of the enemy. And then you're going to use Kinflan Sakoman to at the point where hopefully this dude's health is lower, so we're gonna get hurt less by the damage cap. Or at the very least, Deathstroke benefits more for his health being high over here than Kinflan Sakoman would have benefited. Re-engage the combo with Robin. Deathstroke back in there. Into special 3 here, actually, because we're done with the percentage damages. As you can see, well, granted, in this fight most teams are not gonna deal any damage because there's no crit chance and no crit damage. He deals no damage. But that's fine, that's fine. It's about those percentage damages, and we can all understand that. Re-engage the combo with Robin. Deathstroke back in there. Power stealing a bit. We're going to go for a super move. That was far lower than the previous super move that we did in the previous fight, but though I guess it was lower combo. And again, we got the Sword of Salvation here, so that might be influencing things a bit. Special 3 in there. Robin back in, tanking the super move. And yeah, Deathstroke is not really gonna do much at the end here. But yeah, it was a respectable amount of damage by Deathstroke, not gonna complain about that one. 400 mil. Now, Kinflan Sakoman, look guys, we're using the classic team gameplay. We got classic Superman, we got classic Kinflan Sakoman, and classic Dr. Fate. Quality classic team gameplay, that's that's what you came for here, right? So, here we're going to use the special tree. I know each special of his is going to reduce armor now. I'm going to use 4 of them, 3 of them should be enough, but never too little defense reduction, you know? So I'm going to use the special 2 because that also powered stall and allowed us to generate some power. Can flank Succumbent back in there. Special 3. Re-engage that combo. We do have the Beta Club on him because we're not gonna get to combo to benefits from the spear anyway. So I was just like, let's put the Beta Club in there. Let's just do that. But yeah, it's no damage. Those are crazy low amounts of damage. And looking back on it, I think I would have had a better outcome if I did not use Beta Club on him and I used sort of Salvation, regardless of the fact that we were not gonna receive the passive stats from the Beta Club. I still think sort of Salvation would have pulled slightly higher values. And still, after reducing his defense like 4 times actually, 4 times 25% defense reduction, he's still receiving crazy low amounts of damage on basic attack hits from Conflant Succumbent at the very least. Like, this is crazy low by Conflant Succumbent standards. Looking back in there into a special 3. Though, to be honest, yet again, we don't have access to crits, so that's something to keep in mind when you see reds. It's gonna be lethals. Why do I have lethal on my Conflant Succumbent build? I don't know. That's a question for another day. Special 3 in there again. And actually, looking at the very set, the special 3, I guess that's kind of normal damage, because we would get above 3 mil on that if we did not have crits being cancelled. So yeah, it's fine. Going for super move on a higher combo here. 6.3 mil, respectable amount of damage. Dr. Fate back in there. Re-engage the combo. Conflant Succumbent in there. Re-engage that combo. Dr. Fate back in. Swipe down. King back in there. I did tag in and out a lot here, and looking back on it, I shouldn't have, because I'm still having the mindset of the All Blades gameplay of Conflant Succumbent, or at the very least the Beta Club optimal damage gameplay of Conflant Succumbent. Here, none of them are going to matter. Somehow we were able to chain a combo here, doing kind of the infinite combo in the corner with Dr. Fate as Groth does it. The problem is that he doesn't gap close enough with his swipe right, that's why it usually doesn't work, and you can see here it didn't work. So yeah, special 3 in there, doing some more combo into last special 3. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this fight. Time's up, and we did a total of... By the way, there I was modifying the sound if you couldn't tell. Sorry for the little bit of a delay there. 212 mil. Now, going for the team that dealt a huge chunk of damage here. I think it was even more than Deathstroke on the first pip. And look, some people can get close to one-shotting with this team, but that's done with a 6-star Raven, which is something I don't have access to. But we're gonna have Sword of Sin on Brainiac for the defense reduction, we're gonna have the Beta Club on Raven, and we're gonna have the level 5 Kryptonite Spear on Harley Harley Quinn. And Harley Harley Quinn is going to be in there because of her passive. What passive signal? They're gonna stun him and increase your damage while he's stunned? No! We're reducing his dot resistance, because Harley Quinn has a passive that is going to heavily reduce the enemy's dot resistance. So that's what we're gonna do here. That's why Harley is going to be in there, to reduce his dot resistance. So that Beta Club dot damage can actually deal some. Raven back in there. Jump attack. And at this point I think I'm gonna let the darkness expire. Because I realized, though I don't think I should have necessarily done that, I regarded the burning stacking being very important, because as you know, the burning stack, so you're going to first reduce his defense by half, then reduce that half by half, then reduce that half by half if the burning doesn't expire in the meantime. So at this point I kind of regarded the burning not expiring slightly more important than the darkness stacks, and I allowed myself to lose it. But looking back on it, I think that might have been a pretty big mistake. Another special 1 in there, 8 lethal stacks for Brainiac, Raven in there with jump attack. We get hit a bit, but that's fine. Special 2 again. I mean, that's not fine, because we shouldn't get low enough on health, so we get to the point where we trigger Raven's passive. That's not gonna be ideal. And again, we get hit a bit. Special 2 in there. Need to... I realized at this point I need to figure out kind of a different combo sequence from Force Over Banshee, because if I do it exactly like this, then it's not gonna be enough for his specials to be available, because it's too close to the point where Brainiac uses special ones. So I'm gonna stick around a bit with Brainiac after he does his special one, so that Non-ability use timer is over by the time Raven gets tagged in. Raven back in there, another special 2. Again, don't use special 1s with Raven, you're gonna get dot on you. Raven back in there, jump attack. And yet again I did that mistake and took some damage on our special 2. And special 2s of Raven will deal a decent amount of damage as well, but mainly we're looking forward to the Beta Club dot damage. And I'm going to eventually use the super move of Raven, and that's gonna tremendously increase my damage, and I'm just so angry that I didn't do this sooner. This was misplayed. This was definitely misplayed on my part. This could have been an easy cleanup fight. There's people close to one-shotting this dude with strategy. It did well enough for me, but it could have done far more for me. We're already at 16 mil dot value, and I'm like, oh boy, why didn't we get here faster? Raven will stick around a bit, because it's the end of the fight, so it doesn't matter at this point. And yeah, that's about it for Raven. And she did well, but not as well as I was expecting her to. And I'm glad I did use the Deathstroke and Influence Aquaman before using her. But yeah, that's definitely a respectable amount of damage. Now we're going to get into the Predator, Batman, Celestial, Banshee team. So the upsides of this team are going to be the following. I'm going to be able to disable 3 specials because we're also disabling his super move, so the damage is going to increase. That's about it. We're gonna have lower combo and we're gonna have lower damage overall because and yeah, we're actually gonna be able to do special 3 far more often than the Reverse Flash team. That's also another upside. The downside is that it's gonna be far lower damage per instance of damage. I mean, not really far lower damage. And we're going to have lower passive stats because in the previous one, we were able to put all 3 of our Rise of Krypton artifacts on our characters, and all of them were giving us passive attack and all that good stuff. In this one I have to use Sword of Salvation on Predator Batman to kind of make this viable. Honestly, it's not too bad, it's definitely not too bad, it's yet again slightly better than Reverse Flash, but this is 100% not worth using if you don't have Sword of Salvation. The power generation is just gonna be so damn slow and you're not gonna have a good time. So don't do it. Unless you got Sword of Salvation, re-engage in the combo here. Throw Banshee back in, special 3. What I'm trying to do is to back off and hit once with Silver Banshee or a few times to tag straight into a special 1 with Predator Batman, so I can then begin a combo. I'm going swipe right, capture time, swipe right, so we have basically 2 chances to trigger the power steal, even though it didn't trigger last time at all, of the Sword of Salvation, because we don't want this dude to use super move. I mean, we're fine, we can tank the super move. Silver Banshee herself can take the super move and have no problem. But as soon as he's done that, there's just 2 specials we disable with the special 1, and that's gonna reduce our damage, so we don't want him to do that. Our special 3 in there, backing off. 1, 2 hits, there we go, Predator Batman in there, special 1. Backing off, re-engage the combo. Building some combo. Special 3 in there. Back off a bit. 1, 2, 3 hits, special 1. Back off. Swipe right, tap 1, 2, 3, swipe right. Like the best outcome, because we got fast attack chance on him, is that we're going to use the special Tracer Banshee on a 10 hits combo if every single fast attack chance hit triggers. And that's not a big combo, I can tell you that much. Actually, here we got a higher combo. I think we did a slightly different sequence of attacks, but it was kind of risky with the amount of time was left before tagging. Another special 3 in there. Backing off. Predator Batman back in. Special 1. Backing off a bit, re-engage the combo. Special 3 in there. Back off a bit. Predator Batman special 1. Backing off. Re-engaging. Silver Banshee in there, special 3. At this point, I'm not sure if I should... I think I could have managed to tag him back in if he didn't mess up my combo here. But yeah, it is what it is. And it's gonna be slightly higher than the Reverse Flash one. 25. Again, this is still worth using by all means if you do have the Sword of Salvation, but if you don't, just don't bother. Now, getting into this one, this is gonna be the way to use the Batman Ninja team if you don't have... the LexCorp Warsuit. You get out Robin. Robin is not gonna give you lethal damage in this one, and it's gonna make you take constant dots. So you take out Robin and you put Vixen in there, because they're gonna, at all times, no matter what you do, have the amount of necessary stacks on him. And looking back on this, instead of the Kryptonite Spear that I'm actually using, I think Beta Club would have done well enough, because I mean, there's still the dodge resistance, so I actually don't think so. And look, we're going to, most of the times, go above a 40 hit combo to take advantage of that, so actually not. Kryptonite Spear, I think, was the good choice here on Catwoman. And we're gonna have the Ring and the Beta Club on the other two characters for the passive stats. Vixen passive is going to allow us to have a slight attack boost. Again, is just base attack that she's increasing, sadly. I said that in the past. It doesn't say that on her passive, that is base attack. Some of you guys are like, no, Sigval, that's how they say base attack nowadays. You're just wrong. No, they literally corrected themselves on this update, but not by buffing Vixen, but by being... My dude, we had a little bit of a miswording there. It's base attack is not damaged. And I'm like, well, people bought it thinking it was damaged, my dude. That's really not cool. That's definitely not cool. I mean, I don't have the hardest time combo interrupting this dude, but as it usually happens for some reason towards the end of the fight, I'm going to start failing this a lot towards the end, so that's gonna be a little bit rough, but let's be happy with the optimal gameplay right now. There we go, 3 combo interruptions flawlessly, special 3 in there, decent amount of damage, let's go. We're still taking dot from the special 3 buff because that's supposed to give us a little attack chance, but it doesn't because we're fighting this dude. But it's not gonna be a significant amount anyway because his attack is heavily reduced, and I can confirm that the dot gets reduced as his attack gets reduced, so that's pretty much based on that. And yeah, I think after this one I'm gonna start failing combo interrupting, or maybe it was that on the other account, I don't remember. I think it was on this one. Yep, failure, there we go. Combo interrupting again, or failing to combo interrupt again. Combo interrupting again, thankfully. And boy, we're going for 3 combo hits. We didn't fail this one. Let's go. Another one. Oh boy, this damage is so garbage for the Batman Ninja team, especially in terms of how much attack Catwoman has, but yeah. There's just fights like this, man. I'm at the very least happy that Deathstroke managed to make this dude more bearable because of his percentage damage, but that Ninja team is not gonna have a good time here. And one last special 3 in there. And that's about it for this one specifically. He's gonna be left with 8.4. Now, I think I'm gonna clear 8.4 with the Multiverse team, but the problem was, in previous fights, that Multiverse Flash was just dying. He was just not having a good time, he was dying. And since we didn't use Reverse Flash for the Zero Banshee team, I'm like, okay, we're going to put Multiverse Flash in there because of the crit chance and crit damage. And yes, Multiverse team can crit here, because Multiverse Armor Supergirl Special 1 is going to remove the crit resistance of this dude, so they can definitely crit here. And we're going to use Reverse Flash as the combo builder, so Flash doesn't have the problem of dying. I mean, he'll still have the problem of dying, but at the very least he will do that in the reserve bench out of everybody's sights. Nobody likes to see stuff like that. I'm sorry, my man Flash. I messed up a bit there. Look, I think this is the first time in my life, except for dealing with Super Shields, when the passive of the Kryptonite Spear was useful. So I'm usually used to having unblockable attacks on Multiverse Armor Supergirl, but that's not gonna be the case because we're not tagging from a Multiverse character. And over there I tagged as if I was tagging from a Multiverse character, and yeah, that was not the case, and he blocked. But there you go, the once in a lifetime where the passive that allows you to have unblockable specials is going to actually do something, except for fighting Super Shields for the Kryptonite Spears. You saw it here, ladies and gentlemen, first. Never gonna make use of that again though, but yeah. Glad it happened at least once. Not a special 3 in there. I mean, boy, she's taking significant amounts of damage. Because, like, she's receiving buffs after buffs. And the special 3 debuffs that previously were applied don't expire. Because when you use the special 3, your buffs will refresh, you'll not get some other added. But when you use it in this fight, the dots don't get, like, refreshed. You get new dots on top of the old dots. And she's almost dead, but we finally managed to pull through. The rewards were, as usual, absolute garbage, but I'm happy with the reforges that I got. And yeah, with that being said, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!
This is the future.